welcome for his keynote presentation. The policy advisor of Civil Society Action Coalition on Education for All, Mr. Wale Samuel.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Wale Samuel, policy advisor of CSACEFA. CSACEFA is a civil society coalition of education organizations. Education NGO is working in the area of education. Nigeria is, like most countries of the world, education is very important, it's very key, one of the very key sector in the public arena. Though less than the required international benchmarks of 26% set by UNESCO is given to education sector in Nigeria, yet the sector occupies a commanding portion of our national budget. And the influence of the sector in the larger society becomes so momentous when viewed from the perspective of the huge human resources it employs in terms of teachers and administration, and the enormous percentage of the population education influences. Here you want to look at pupils, the students, parents, and other stakeholders. However, of greater concerns are the well-known challenges the sector has had to grapple with in Nigeria. And these challenges are not new to you, and neither is it new to us in the civil society. They are not new to the media either. And these challenges include financial constraints, weak management and poor quality of education delivery, inadequate teachers, misappropriations, and wastage of resources, among others. This sad trend of affairs has led to a stringent call among Nigerians that a serious searchlight should be beamed on the sector to bring to the light of public opinion burning issues in the sector. And one grave illustration to justify this call is the present demand by the civil society that Nigerians should closely monitor the education sector and help in building independent data to fortify accountability in the system. Now, one thing that happens in Nigeria, whenever you check any international document that deals with education, and if the document reads out data, if you watch closely, when you get to Nigeria, most often it's always blank. So the issue of data is very, very key, and I think the media has a role to play in this. This brief introduction justifies the need for the media to join the growing partnership in the advancement of accountability in the education sector, especially with the coming on board of the Freedom of Information Act 2011. Now we want to look at the role of the media in advancing accountability through the Freedom of Information Act. And after working like an eternity, the civil society and the media eventually got the president, Goodluck Jonathan, to sign the law, the Freedom of Information Bill, into an act in 2011 on May 28th, thereby ending one of the most contested campaigns in the history of our national democracy. The right to information has a crucial role to play in ensuring that the media particularly are better informed about the process of governance and the activities of line ministries and agencies. The FOI law already provides for the media and other interested stakeholders to regularly access information on government activities and policies, thus making the government directly accountable on a day-to-day basis rather than just at election time. The media now have every right to request information from education agencies. It is the duty of the government to supply the requested information unless it has serious security implications on the nation. The Act protects those who provide public information, those who receive, and even those who provide information without authorization. This is referred to as the whistleblower's protection, and this is very innovative and should ordinarily enhance the media's case for transparency and accountability issues. The media's active engagement with the FOI law will undoubtedly shed more light on the incidence of corruption in the education sector and also enhance accountability. The word shared is that journalists will be able to freely carry out their duties in Nigeria as the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chapter 2, Section 22 states that the press, radio, TV, and other agencies of the mass media shall at all times be free to uphold the fundamental objectives and uphold the responsibility and accountability of the government to the people. Now, what can the media do to advance accountability in the education sector? The media can take critical steps in the following direction in order to deepen transparency and accountability in the sector. 1. Placing more emphasis on the existing legal frameworks like the Freedom of Information Act 2011 and of course the Procurement Act 2007 to focus more on corruption and to create a transparent, competitive process without the negative effects of cronyism and nepotism, all which aggravate corruption, waste, and underdevelopment. The media can press for the financing and building of the capacity of school-based management committees to engage in school management and planning. The media can also partner with civil society in the implementation of the Freedom of Information Act and the Procurement Act in the education sector. At the moment, the procurement law is not transparently applied in the sector, not existing or very weak at the state level, while the Freedom of Information Act should be tested in the education sector, especially with the UBE process, where billions of naira is being wasted or misappropriated. The inclusion of the media in school monitoring and also building their capacities to hold service providers accountable for quality and other essential is also welcomed. To further enhance the ownership structure, the media would need to partner with the civil society in a bid to create an inclusive community in terms of community participation and then getting feedback to the government. We together can also institutionalize the civil society and media-driven community accountability and transparency initiative, which will monitor resources and all other allocations in the sector. And some other steps that the media can take to ensure transparency and effective management of resources include the call for citizens' participation in school resource management, support downward and upward accountability in the utilization of education intervention funds in community schools, thereby enhancing infrastructural development at the local level. Increase state and national level awareness on the dangers of mismanagement of public funds and the way out through media campaign. In conclusion, the implementation of the highlighted principles of accountability and transparency stated above would drastically curb corruption and financial impunities currently gnawing at the heart of resources allocated to education in Nigeria. This ultimately will enhance good governance as the media and civil societies begin to ask questions of government and thereby are able to hold governments at all levels in Nigeria accountable on issues of resource allocation and utilization. And thank you for your time.